Hey, what's up? It's David Long here, back again with another video in the barn. Today, we're going to be going over two new bicycles that we just purchased. These are both Fit Bike Co. Fit BMX bicycles. This is a 16-inch BMX bicycle and a 20-inch BMX bicycle. Bought these for my kids. Both of them are growing like weeds and they're ready for upgrades on bike sizes. My youngest is going from a 14-inch bicycle to a 16-inch bicycle. My oldest is finally ready for the adult size BMX bike. He's going from an 18-inch BMX bike to a 20-inch BMX bike. Excited to open these up. These are both, like I said, from Fit Bike Co. It's a brand that I respect, that I like, that I grew up watching, and a very iconic BMX brand. Hyped to get into it. I'm going to go through all of the unboxing as well as building up both of these bikes. A couple of things that we're going to need off of the get-go, as mentioned on the box. But we have a wire cutter, 6mm Allen key, 15 or 17mm wrench, 5mm Allen key, 15mm wrench, and a bicycle pump. All this stuff I have off camera over here to the side. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, first things first, we have our wire cutters. We'll go ahead and start cutting these guys open. All right, in addition to the wire cutters, I have a couple other tools. So it's just easy to open up boxes with additional tools that aren't quite mentioned. However, I have just some regular house scissors, a knife, a buck knife if you will, and just a regular flathead screwdriver. All right, so if you're getting a new BMX bike, be very careful of these staples right here. You can definitely get injured on these. These are pretty sharp, used to hold the box together. So even after you open this box up, you want to be careful that you get these things removed and set off somewhere, because even playing in the box, reaching in there, they can definitely cut you up. And a regular Gerber. All right. As you can see, these things are extremely sharp, so I want to make sure to get those out of the way, get those discarded, because like I said, when you're reaching inside the box, these will scratch you, they'll cut you wide open, so make sure to discard these. All right, I love any chance that I get to use this. This is actually something that I got from my grandfather years and years ago. He's passed along, so this is something that I love to be able to use any chance I can. So we use it to cut the tape off the boxes. All right, so we'll start with the 16-inch BMX bike first. First thing, there's a tube in here. I believe this is just something extra they threw in for my order. A box of small effects, we'll get to them in a minute. On to the 20-inch. A little bit easier easier to get out of the box. Another box of small effects, probably the pedals and stuff in here. Alright, so we're going to move the boxes out of the way. So, we have our 16-inch BMX bike and our 20-inch BMX bike. Each of these come with a chain guard. There's a couple of things in here you're going to see that we're not actually going to install. However, most companies, I guess maybe legally, they have to include some of these items such as reflectors, chain guards, things like that. So these will go in the box too. Back to the wire cutters. We're going to start unpackaging this stuff. First things first, these are just to protect your axles inside the box, so these can be discarded as well. Same on this bike. Alright, forward spacer, trash. Alright, pretty cool first get-go. First thing we got out of here is a 20-inch BMX wheel, front hub. I actually don't know all the specs on it. I'm pretty sure this is probably like a semi-sealed front bearing. Rolls pretty smooth. So yeah, I love the tan wall right here. That's kind of a cool feature. Good looking tire. I believe this might be the FAF tire if I'm not mistaken. It looks very similar. Maybe it's a smaller one for, I mean it's a 2.4 size tire, but potentially it's sometimes the aftermarket products, they'll make a different version for the complete bikes. So. Alright, see the handlebar. BMX seat. Actually beside it. It's kind of odd that they didn't just include this directly into the seat tube, but there's actually space back here in this rear triangle. Alright, good looking seat too, fit. Nice graphics on that. I love that. Right. Onto the 16-inch. bubble wrap on this one. All right, so both are unboxed now. I'm gonna do a quick cleanup. We'll be right back and we'll start to build these up. We'll get these small parts box opened up and we'll go over the rest of the bikes. All right, so now we have our mess cleaned up. We're back. Now we're going to go ahead and open up these small parts packages. So as you can see, there's a couple of things missing right now, mainly the pedals, okay? All right, so let's take a look inside these boxes. All right, this is for the 16-inch BMX bike. All right, so we have an owner's manual, have an instruction sheet, all right, so it's saying first things first, we should open the box, we did that. 2 is going to be the handlebars. 3 is going to be the front wheel. 4, the seat post. 5, pedals. 6, pump it up. Pretty easy. All right. So like I said, there are a couple of small parts inside here. Looks to be a couple of washers. I'm not sure if that's going to just be replacement ones, maybe for the front or the rear, and a cable strap for your brake cable, All right, a couple of things. Like I said, I think these companies are legally required to include these items. Just tire or wheel reflectors, reflectors and such. Yeah, not a lot. We're not going to be putting these on. All right, and then last but not least, pedals. All right, so we'll go ahead and get these open. And also, while we're here, I'm not sure if these even have warranties or not, but a lot of times when you get new BMX parts, check this out, see if there's a warranty. Sometimes you need to register a serial number with the company. So good thing to know, check it out. And you know, even aftermarket parts, especially like forks or frames or any of that stuff, a lot of the times when they want to do warranties, they want you to have it warranted with them with a proof of original purchase. All right, and that's company specific. So make sure whatever brand you're doing, check out their warranty and see if that's something that you're going to want or need. All right. 20-inch box, same instruction manual, owner's manual, same small parts. Pedals, a lot bigger as you can tell. This stuff's scaled as well. This is a 20-inch bike, so the pedals are going to be a little bit bigger. Same cable ties, same washers. All right, and even these reflectors on the pedals, we'll probably take those off. Good thing I have a flathead out here. But yeah, something to think about. It's all kind of personal preference. If you're out riding on the street, so your kids are, it's probably a good idea to have reflectors. We're pretty much going to be going with my children, just to the trails, to the skate park, pretty safe places away from traffic. So yeah, not really needed quite as much for our bicycles. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and get the handlebars on both of these bicycles. They're saying a 6mm, a 5mm. However, this is a 6, but I have this nice multi-tool that is completely falling apart. I've had this thing for years. Yeah, it's doing its job though. Multi-tool, you can buy these online for pretty cheap, just little small Allen keys for the common ones for a BMX bike. So good investment, or you can get sets of just regular Allen keys. All right, top cap's off. Do the same for the 20-inch bike. And right here, this should be your 6mm. Top cap's off. All right. You grab this Allen key, might be a little bit easier before we move forward. All right, this is very important, what I'm about to talk about. When you are putting this back together, there's a very specific pattern that you need to follow. There's also kind of just general torque stuff. You need to make sure that you don't over tighten it, tighten it in the right order. And you also want to make sure that it's properly spaced. This is a big thing with stems and breaking stems and everything else, and also just kind of crushing your tubes on your handlebars or anything else. It's a big important, this is the maintenance portion that you should definitely take into account. All right. All right, so when you're doing this, you want to go from this one to this one to this one to this one. So if you're looking at it from the front, it's going to be your top left, bottom right, bottom left, top right, and that's the order, and then back to the top left. So it's kind of this zigzag pattern right here. All right, so top left, bottom right, bottom left, top right. And what you're attempting to do is you're attempting to make sure that this has an even space from the front and the back of the top cap to the rest of the stem. Alright, so we're looking pretty good right now. Make sure your handlebars, there's a knurl on the handlebars, and you want to make sure that it's centered in here. And the angle of your handlebars, that's kind of up to you. However, I've always liked to try to just get it in line with the fork. That's my own personal preference. All right, so as you can see with this bike, pretty good spacing in between the front and the rear. I'm actually going to go back through this stuff afterwards and make sure that it's really good. However, for demonstration purposes, we're going to stop here. We're going to go ahead and get the other one in foot as well. All right, so we're back. We got the handlebars installed on both of these bicycles. Like I was saying earlier, you want to make sure there's equal space in the front and the rear of the stem cap. Also, when it comes to the knurling on the handlebars, you want to make sure that it looks centered between the sides of the stem. All right, so usually you can see just a hair, just a millimeter or less on each side of the stem. So just make sure that's centered to the best of your ability. All right, and then as far as the angle of the handlebars, it's really up to you. Some people like it more forward. Some people, not many people like it kind of further back, but you can. It's totally up to you. All right, so the next thing that I'll personally do is get in the small effects bag, grab this cable tie, and put it around the top two. All right, this is just going to make sure that the cable's not rattling around. Not necessary for the bike to function, but just kind of helps keep a clean look, and also keeps it from rattling around in case you were doing a trick. Don't want to get your feet or anything else stuck in that cable. It could be disastrous. All right, so we're looking good. All right, next thing's next. We're going to put the front wheels on. All right, now you can't use a ratchet. However, I don't have the actual correct size of ratchet, so I'm just going to be using a regular wrench, adjustable wrench. And it's going to do the trick, for sure. All right, as you can see, right here, you have these little slotted washers. These are going to be to go inside slots inside the fork. All right, so you kind of see cutouts right here. It's just holding your wheel in there as an extra safety feature. And also just kind of helps hold the wheel secure and straight in the fork. Those slotted keys just fit right in there. All right. So 16-inch bike has the same effects. All right, when it comes to your front wheel, you want to make sure that you're tightening it enough where there's no play left or right, and also just secure. You want to make sure definitely don't do that. Or use the proper tool, or take it to a bike shop and let a certified mechanic build your bicycle. In relation to the warranty, a lot of companies are going to ask if you did, so I might be screwing myself here. However, I had a lot of experience with building bicycles. So yeah, just a good thing. If you're doing it, just make sure there's no play left or right in that wheel. Make sure it's good and tight. All right, next thing up. So I'm pretty sure what it's going to tell me to do next is the seat post. However, I'm just going to go ahead and jump straight to the pedals. All right. If you've been around, you have a 15mm pedal wrench. All right. Doesn't get a lot of use. A lot of these actually have Allens on the inside now, Allen slots, 8mm typically, and you can just shoot an Allen key straight through the crank arm hole, spindle, and tighten it up. However, I am lucky to have a thin 15mm pedal wrench. So we're going to put these on. One thing to notice is each of these have an L or an R for a set of pedals. One's for your left side, one's for your right. And that's going to go to the corresponding crank arm. All right. So left, left. All Alright? And what you will notice when you're doing this, one of these has a reverse thread. So that's when you're pedaling, that your pedal doesn't come loose. Snug's pretty good on that. You don't have to go overboard with it. So it's going to be your left pedal that has the reverse thread. This one still goes righty-tighty. Alright, I'm going to get the pedals on this one and we'll be right back. Got both of the pedals on both of the bikes. One thing I did notice on this 16-inch BMX bike is these pedals actually did have the Allen key on the inside. I still use a 15mm, but like I said, some pedals actually have the Allen key on the inside so that you can just reach right through here, tighten it up from here. As I said, the left pedals have a reverse thread on it, so it's going to be turned to the left counterclockwise to tighten the left pedal. The right pedal is still going to be the same as normal righty-tighty. Alright? So last thing we're going to do is put the seat posts on the bicycles. Alright? So these are actually a one-piece combo. So there's no adjustment on the seat on these. Not typically my favorite, but for a kid's bike, it's going to be alright. The only reason why I personally don't like it is sometimes the angles on these guys are a little weird. However, if you want to upgrade it to a two-piece, you can. Some people like the one-piece just because I believe it's a little bit lighter. All right. So one thing to know with each of these seat posts is going to be a line of some sort that tells you the minimum height that it needs to be in here. So you can't have it all the way up here. You need to at least have it by the line and the line or higher. All right. So that's the minimum. However, for now, we'll just give it probably a fist worth. All right. This is going to be your 5mm. Like I said, I have a trusty falling apart multi-tool, and we're going to use that for it. All right. Alright, just make sure that it's in line with your top tube. Same with the other bike. See, this one, the line is a little bit further down, so you can actually run this one pretty high. Same one-piece one-piece seat tube combo, lighter, but no adjustment, all right? And these actually look a little bit better than some of the ones that I've seen. Sometimes they're angled all the way up here or something, so like a young kid that might be sitting down a little bit more to ride, sliding off the back, seen it happen. So it's just an uncomfortable ride. These look pretty good though. I actually think this might be a 6mm. I didn't check. However, alright, like I said, just make sure it's in line. I'm not sure, maybe the 5mm is for, that's also 6.2. I'm not sure what the 5mm is for. Or maybe this is a 5. Let's see. 6. Those are the same. Maybe the 5 is for the pedals or something, or a different point of adjustment. However, yeah, I'm not too sure really. Maybe for the cap right here, that's probably what it is. Anyway, so we have the seats on both of them. The last thing that it's going to ask you to do is pump up the tires. However, do that later. One thing I would like to say, whenever you're building these bikes, if you're building it alone or by yourself, make sure that you go over all of the bolts again. Even though it came prepackaged, you want to make sure that everything's pretty secure, pretty snug out of the box. You know, sometimes things come loose inside the boxing or anything else, so you want to make sure that everything's good and tight and you know, nothing's going to sneak up on you. Alright, so that concludes the unboxing and bike builds of these two Fit BMX bikes. This was the Fit Bike Co. 20-inch Series 1 BMX and the Fit Misfit 16-inch BMX bike. Pretty stoked out on both of these bikes. This is a very common box configuration when you're buying a complete bicycle, so this will be pretty appropriate for most bike builds, if you will, straight out of the box. One thing you can do, it's always a good idea, and sometimes the warranty might depend on it, is make sure to take these to a certified BMX mechanic, bicycle mechanic at a local bike shop. I'm not too particularly worried about the warranty issues on these guys, just for the size and the skill level of my children. However, if you were an adult or anything like that behind, say, this 20-inch BMX bicycle, you want to make sure to take it to a certified bicycle mechanic, so if you were to break any components or anything else, you have a better shot of having that warranty because it was built by a certified mechanic. In a future video, I'll be going over each of these bikes and looking over the graphics, looking over the parts, looking over just all the specs of each of these bicycles, maybe the differences between the two. However, I do appreciate you watching this video. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, hit them in the comments and let me know. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you for the next video. Peace.